Man, is this the Poverty League? Look, it seems like most players are on the same page when it comes to loot for 3.29. It just doesn't feel good. Now, I know they did a patch last night, which I need to test out. They did a lot of voyage stuff. Quantity and rarity values granted by chart modifiers on newly found charts have all been raised by 20 to 40%. Outside of that, though, there's been nothing to Delirium. Breach is absolutely gutted. It's just, I'm running tier 15 maps now. I'm at the point where I need some expensive gear, and the only thing that's working for me is grinding charts to get the Deadman Sulfur. To then it's like 1 chaos per 670, at least it was yesterday. So you get a good stack of like 50k and you can make like, I don't know, 35, 40 chaos, which really isn't that great when you consider you're getting a little over 1,000 per chart. But that's kind of what I've resorted to. And I mean, a lot of other people feel this way, but I will be testing this today. I'm gonna jump in, go run a bunch of maps, get some new charts, and see if maybe it feels any better. PubGun put out a tweet yesterday talking about it. Now, everyone knows PubGun. I'm actually running Winter Orb with him here. Now, he always gets in and he blasts, and a lot of people are like, oh, don't compare yourself to PubGun, not getting fun. The man knows the game in and out. He knows the juicing strats. This is what he has to say. I'll be honest. This is the worst Endgame has felt in a very long time for me. I've tried multiple max juice strats today, and they're all just terrible. 200% more currency, 200% more quant, and you leave the map with 10 chaos. Now, chaos do drop a lot, but like I said, I've gotten 1 div, and that was in Act 5. I've never had a divine drop in campaign for me. That's the only time I've seen a divine. Nothing worth anything for me. Like, I'm struggling over here. Only hope right now is a buff in the next week. Removing Mirage and not addressing the poor state of loot was a massive mistake. In comparison, PoE 2 loot feels phenomenal. It made the game really enjoyable in 0.5. PoE 1 is so far off the mark right now. Now, I agree with that, right? PoE 2, 0.5, all the new endgame changes, they made it so divines are a little bit more common. It felt great. Like, once you really got juicing in the endgame, even just like an Alk and Go method, you can get at least 1 raw, 2 raw divines per map. Every endgame strategy felt good, no matter if you did Temple, Breach, Abyss, Delirium, Expedition was insane. It all just felt good. And now, you know, reading a lot of these posts, there's a ton of Reddit posts. We're gonna look at a few. A lot of people are like, well, if you're looking for divines an hour, don't play. It's like, what are you a D4 player? Because D4 players, it'll, like, look at the last season that just launched. It was absolute shit. The changes to the mythics and everything they did, and you could only have 1 crafted mythic. Mythics weren't dropping. It took them like 2.5 weeks to even address the problem with the mythics. And then they implemented it, and it was the same shit. It was still horrible. So it's like, I guess some of these people are used to D4, and you just never get loot. And they're like, oh, if you, like, you need loot, you need the dopamine. If you're doing juice strats and you're really pushing some high-end content, and you're at the point, because a lot of PoE 1 builds, like I'm closing on 500 hours on PoE 1. I've got 1,500 on PoE 2. I just enjoy PoE 2 more. I still appreciate PoE 1. It's still a great game. There's a lot more to do. But every time I come back to PoE 1, it just, the more and more I enjoy PoE 2, the harder it is to come back to PoE 1. And when you come off of a league like 0.5, and you come into this, and the loot is just non-existent, and you're playing the new mechanic, and you're like, all right, come on. And you're doing 15 maps, 16 maps, corrupted. You're fucking trying some other shit. You're like, something, right? But let's read a few of the posts here. So we looked at that. Yeah, this guy says, quickest I've ever lost desire to play the league. GGG, what is going on? League mechanic is all over the place. Nothing is rewarding. There's no proper loot dropping. I unfortunately don't see a point of playing anymore. Gonna see what these upcoming buffs are to Abyss. and other things, but most likely done with this crap. Now, a lot of people got baited with Luminary. I almost went with it. It seems like it's not, the power is just not there. Now, look, this is day 4 of the league. It's Monday now. Sure, strats could come up, but if you got people like Fubgun have tried everything and it's not rewarding, they're going to have to raise the loot. But the good thing about GGG, they usually address this shit fast. Like, last night, they already dropped a patch to fix all of this shit. You know, Blizzard could never. So, I have a feeling they'll probably bring up the loot ceiling a little bit, or whatever you want to call it. Give us some better drops. But, it seems like most people are on the same page. But then you got people, oh, sweet Fubgun's child, don't play div an hour, play game. It's like, okay, well, I farmed the last 7 or 8 hours I farmed. I did a lot of charts, a few voyages, tier 15 maps. Only got like 1 chaos per map. The voyages, nothing great out of the message bottles, no divines. I haven't seen a mercenary with a headhunter, mage blood, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it gets to the point, what I was going to say earlier, PoE1, especially if you're following a build guide, right? You always notice that there's tons of iterations to the build. Once you get to endgame, you then have to go like, okay, well, now I need this super expensive loot, gear, uniques. I need like high-end gear. If you're not getting any drops to then sell to then fund build, well, then you're left with crafting. A lot of this stuff, uniques, you just got to get it to drop. You're not going to craft it. So, sure, you could, right? I mean, chances are very low, though. With, what is it, Ancient Orbs in this game? You kind of get to the point. That's where I'm at with my Winter Orb build. I'm at a crossroads because I'm not getting loot, and I can't push a little bit harder content because I'm stuck. Like I'm not getting stronger. Everything's super expensive, and I'm not getting the loot. So I'm just stuck, and it doesn't feel good to keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and just you're hitting a wall. You're not going anywhere. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Mirage League, but I know a lot of people praise Mirage League, last league, for loot. And then now Mirage is gone, and we're kind of here. I'm not going to read too many comments about this, but a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they're focusing on PoE 2. It feels like they're trying to kill PoE 1 to force people to PoE 2. I don't think that's the case. Somebody in chat had told me Jonathan didn't work on this PoE 1 league, and he's all in on PoE 2 to get it ready for launch. I don't know how true that is, but it would make sense. It would make a lot of sense. So maybe Jonathan is... I mean, we know Jonathan puts in the work. A lot of... I mean, you can just tell. He's controlling the ship, right? So this guy says, if everyone is poor, no one is. In my opinion, Poverty League can be some of the best. If we're all poor, then nothing is that expensive. I think PoE players just want to hear 1,000 divines drop. But in reality, if everyone is getting 10 divs per map, then it doesn't mean anything. Look at the PoE 2 0.5 economy. Super inflated because all strats drop 5 divs per map. I gotta disagree with that. I mean, we don't want 1,000 divs to drop. We just want something. You want a little bit of something. Sure, PoE 2 economy is a little bit more inflated than it was the past few leagues, but it's so much easier to get loot. You could go target farm Rockiatas. You go do rituals for Headhunter Mage Blood. You go farm Abyss. Like, there's so many ways to get currency. You could just farm something, get what you needed, buy your gear, have fun. It feels like there's none of that right now in PoE 1. I wanted to go after the new Legion stuff and really push that. And I saw a post basically saying it's damn near impossible. You gotta have like a super strong build, and then by the time you get everything you need and get to where you get those new items, it's like a 95% chance you're not gonna get whatever it is you're trying to get, whatever the new stuff is. So I don't even know if I'm gonna even bother with that anymore. I do agree we need content that scales, but we're 3 days in the league. There's time for changes and strat inventions. People can still find new stuff to juice. Don't be so doom and gloom yet. Yeah, I mean, if the general consensus is it's bad, It's bad. All right. I don't think loot is the only problem. It's losing a sense of progression. This is I'm not gonna read this. It's just another post I pulled up, people talking about it. There's probably hundreds of posts about people talking about how bad the loot feels. So and then people were talking about Endgame, just how the Endgame farms just, they don't feel good. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to kind of go over it here. What are your thoughts? I mean, is loot been good for you? I mean, usually it doesn't matter if it's PoE1, PoE2. My my RNG is usually shit. I could pull up PoE2 right now and look at my stats. I know I've dropped at least probably 200 raw divs and then all the strats just to get, but it felt good. It felt good getting a tink every map, you know? I've never gotten a lot of divs to drop from PoE1. I don't know, it's just because I'm not as familiar with PoE1 and or what it is. But I'm definitely more of a casual PoE1 player, more of like a hardcore PoE2 player. Like, I'll do everything in PoE2. I don't know, enjoy it more. And coming back, this dodge roll kills me every time. But I don't know, let me know your thoughts. I mean, I'm sure GGG is going to still make adjustments, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel rewarding right now. And it feels like when you're just grinding and you're not really, you're not getting anything that you can then go sell or to upgrade your build. It just feels bad, man. But anyway, I'll just yap forever. But I got a basic how-to voyage guide on the channel just to get you started. I'm going to see if I can find any good charting voyage strats. I'm going to go farm maps right now and get a bunch of new charts and see how they feel now with this 20 to 40% boost. And I'll make a video. I guess I'll do like, I don't know, 20, 30 charts and 2 voyages and see, you know, just make a video, see if it feels better. And we'll go from there. But anyway, subscribe, come back. See you on the next one.